there was no listing for the job of Joel Dahmen's caddy. You essentially created the job offering.
Yep.
The letter has become something of golf folklore over the last few years. How much can you almost recite the whole thing at this point? What do you remember from it?
Yeah, well, I remember I was sitting in my cubicle when I wrote it, and I just wrote everything that I was thinking and feeling. And when I got done, I read it, and I was like, yeah, that's perfect. Like, I think he'll hire me just as long as he reads it. So I waited until the last event when he officially locked up the money list, and I sent it to him. And then like 2 weeks goes by, but I don't hear anything from him. I'm like, man, I don't know what this means. So I was like, hey, I sent him a message. Have you checked your email in the last couple of weeks? He's like, no. Like, oh, could you? And so I remember he called and we talked about it. He's like, I don't think this is something that you want to do. You're not going to make any money. I'm like, I know, I realize that, but it is something I want to explore. And he never really told me yes or no. He came back and we went out and played golf. And we're on the very first hole, and he had it was a windy day, and he hit like a 7-iron from 150 yards, this little chippy one in there. And I was like, man, I never thought you'd pull 7. And he was like, well, if you're going to caddy for me, you need to, let's get on the same page. And at this time, he still hadn't told me whether or not he was going to hire me. So I'm like, well, is that a yes? Because the first tournament's in like 2 weeks, and I have to quit my job. So he was like, oh, yeah, if you want to. I'm like, well, damn it.
Do you remember what your boss said?
I actually, I was supposed to go to Germany to visit a customer like this same week. And she was like, I'm so glad you told me, because if you would have went to Germany, came back, and then quit, I would have killed you. So thank you for saying something. That's awesome. Give it a try. And if you ever need anything, but she was great. If you ever need anything, let us know. So it worked out wonderfully.
I'm glad to hear Idaho's doing a lot of business overseas, all the way in Germany.
It was an ammunition manufacturing company. So I transitioned to a logistics person shipping ammo to Germany. I've been all over the place with my jobs.